This year is definitely the toughest lineup that there's ever been.
Fantastic players, top to bottom.
I don't think there's any easy lineup in the Premier League.
I mean, everyone thinks they're the best.
It's definitely a unique structure.
It's unlike any other form of poker.
You only have to beat 11 other degenerates.
It's about winning as many points as possible.
There's a lot of money on the table.
It really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I enjoy the challenge. I'm ready for that.
Premier League, bring it on.
Season 7 of the Party Poker Premier League is sure to be as competitive as ever. The Playground Poker Club in Montreal is our host, which has welcomed the stars of the show, 12 pros at the top of their game, competing for points in one of the most unique events in poker. Here's what's happened so far with Jesse May.
Last time, the players descended on the Playground Poker Club for the start of Heat 1.
Obviously, you always want what you can't have, and so there's a lot of poker players that want to play this that can't.
I feel I've had the experience of playing this several times now that I really have a good grasp of it and hope that'll be a nice advantage.
It's kind of cool because you're never, until the very end, you're never going to be completely out of it.
Antonio Esfandiari was the early mover, his aggression and willingness to play pots earning himself the chip lead.
Mr. Estimator. I liked my hand until you started talking.
Scott Seaver, on the other hand, found himself in some difficult spots which ended badly, eventually losing a flip to Jeff Gross, eliminating him in 8th spot with the bagel.
It's always painful to lose regardless of anything else, but try my best and I'll get back at it.
Here are the chips. Esfandiari and Gross leading the way for the maximum 14 points, whilst Mizzi and Rast are the low stacks desperate for a double up. 7 players, all guaranteed at least 1 league point here in Heat 1. The Playground Poker Club here in Montreal is buzzing, and I'm joined by Phil Laak. Lines are 3 and 6,000, so it isn't alarm bells yet for our low stacks, but they will be hoping to accumulate chips early on to mount a challenge.
Seed 8 raise 14,000.
Koon, under the gun, has elected to pop it up, which is reasonable, King Jack. Although remember, in that first and second spot, you can fold a lot of hands. You can fold Ace 10. You can fold King Jack. Do not be embarrassed by these. Then this is part of the reason. Somebody can wake up with the demon behind you. It's about 2% per person behind you to wake up with queens, kings, aces, or ace king. So with 7 people behind you, that's 14% somebody's going to pop with kings, queens, aces, or ace king. Never mind a lot of the other hands. I'm not adding in jacks, queens, and tens, a lot of other real hands, So, and this is terrible for Koon. This is exactly the problem that can happen when you play these vulnerable style hands, the hands that are subject to overcoding.
Right, and Antonio diversified slightly by not 3-betting there.
Yep.
I guess you could say the reason he did it is to keep in the hands that he dominated, which he did, and now he's going to get the sweet rewards.
Yeah, Koon cannot fold.
4-bet 23,000.
Oh, now this could save Koon. It looks like Colman's going to make some kind of move. This is going to save this. Oh wow, this saves Koon. Oh my lord, that's so insane. Look at that, because Koon can make Jason can make an easy fold here. Look at this. Wow, and now this is interesting, because if Koon decides that this is some kind of malarkey going on, Antonio will instant fold the ace king. I don't like. If I bet and a guy raises and another guy raises, I'm tossing ace king away.
What can Koon represent by raising here?
Oh, you can't. Yeah, it's
so
too
fishy.
He got saved
he wouldn't
by
have
that
a
raise.
set. He would
now
never.
It's all different. Now it's different. Now Antonio, I don't think is gonna.
Is this a strong enough move by Colman that he could actually win the pot here? No,
I don't think so, because he's just walked into Antonio's top range. Yeah, it looks like a re-raise. I think you kind of have to re-raise, because if the guy's on a draw, you have to make him pay. Instant, no posturing, fold Colman.
And Jason Koon got rescued there.
Wow, super rescue.
Just one more point. That's what this Premier League is about. Blinds now 4 and 8,000 with a 2K ante, and under the heading of the ratio of the ante to the big blind, this would be one of the stealing levels.
I don't know about these kind of folds. It looks like he's, ace 300. I don't know if
it feels like he's got too many chips at this blind level to be folding those, right?
It kind of feels like that. The one thing you can say about making tight folds is your stack is the same, and somebody might get busted out, and you might go up in points. Yeah, tight play. Look at this. He would have ran into a legitimate hand. I mean, Rast is getting it all in here. He's trying to. He's figuring. He's worried about if he goes all in if he'll get called or not, but I think he thinks it doesn't. He doesn't have enough chips to.
Yeah,
if he raises a little, he's gonna get called. Yeah, it's a race.
Oh, Rastinator! I love my Rasty, but I have to bust you, Rastinator.
I'm gonna have to double up this time, kid. I'm feeling lucky.
No, I'm gonna get a jack.
I already got lucky, but time to get more lucky.
It's gonna be dirty, one way or the other. Like there's gonna be a 10 involved.
Feels turning.
If you don't flop it, it's done.
It's gonna be like
that does feel like
it's got to be on the flop.
That's a good flop.
Antonio predicted the jack.
It was nice.
It was nice knowing you.
Wow, this guy you're a sicko.
Antonio really
Telling him it was nice already. He's got back doors.
Of course it's done. Just ship the sherbet, you know?
Those are the same two cards. I think
Yeah, that looks fishy.
Oh,
Slightly over.
Wow.
So for Brian Rast, first go here at the Premier League, he'll take 1 point from his first heat, and he's going to have some work to do if he wants to stay in this league.
Yep.
It's a brutal game. This is an unforgiving format. And Rast is going to have to come back with a new plan. Meanwhile, Antonio Esfandiari, he just really seems to be on top of this game tonight. Not the start Brian Rast was looking for here at the Premier League, but with 3 heats remaining, there is plenty of time for King Rast to come good. He's with Kara Scott.
There are 3 more heats for you to play, so it's definitely not over at this point, and you must feel that.
Yeah, no, I definitely got out to a bad start today, but you're right, it's not over. There's still 3 heats, and you know, I have 1 point to carry on, and I have a chance to do something with. So, yeah.
Well, good luck in those 3 heats. Thank you.
Thank you.
More from Premier League Season 7 after the break.
I have a really good feeling about this one.
I'm so good at poker.
Yeah, right.
Welcome back to the Playground Poker Club in Montreal, where Heat 1 of the Party Poker Premier League is playing out. Before the break, Brian Rast left the table with 1 point, so we're down to 6 in this opening heat. Let's return to the action.
6 players left in this initial heat of Premier League Poker 7. And the blinds up are 6 and 12,000. Sorel Mizzi, of course, is the man on the short stack. And that's the dynamic right there. There's a lot of jockeying going on for position between that. Really not much between sort of Jason Koon, who's in 4th position, and the top 4 stacks all kind of bunched together a little bit now. Antonio slightly ahead.
By the way, this is a reasonable shove from Mizzi. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's a durable hand. It's if you get snap called by Ace Jack or something, you're decently alive. You know, it's better to have King 4 than Ace 4 if the guy wakes up. And a lot of times you're just going to get some folds. Even Ace 3 would fold, and it's beating.
I mean, Jeff
7
can
and up
never
is a
call
call.
here.
I think
Yeah.
Ace 7 is a call. I think Ace 6 is borderline. Ace 5 and below is a fold. Just shooting from there.
Wow, Ace 3 and
and it's all in.
All in call.
Yeah.
What do you like? Do you like that Ace 3? He has the chips, he can afford it.
I mean, there could be an argument, Phil, that Antonio is the guy at the table who profits the most by having 1 very short stack out
I
there.
have a really good feeling about this one.
I'm not sure if his upside is as big as his downside here.
I would have personally folded. I would have called with Ace 7 up.
I think Antonio's opening a weird can of worms right now. I mean, he's going to actually be right back down into the pack.
Right.
Sorel will have doubled up. And he's not going to really have the edge that by folding, he really maintains that huge edge.
He
on
maintains
the and he inhibits all those other short, medium stacks from playing with Mizzi out
and he
there.
doesn't want Mizzi to double up. I mean, this is just, that's just exactly what he doesn't want.
I think he may have made a big mistake
I
there.
wouldn't have done it. I don't want to necessarily just say it's a mistake when it might not.
That's what friends are for.
I had a queen.
When you have
I
the
think that might have been a clear fold. Yeah.
I mean, remember, Antonio's still got a lot of chips.
And for Sorel Mizzi, that was a huge double up.
It was
He can
super
now,
huge.
you know, he can feel like
Now he's in the pack.
I had a good.
My name's Sorel Mizzi. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, and I've been playing poker professionally for about 9 years now. It's in my blood. I know I'm a gambler, so I'm a very competitive person by nature, and I also know that I like to gamble, so playing poker is a perfect way for me to channel my degeneracy in a positive way. My family at first was very concerned. They didn't like the whole idea of gambling. They didn't really understand it. But then I started winning, and then they got the lobster dinners and like the jackets and the nice clothing, and then they were pretty happy about it. Playing the Premier League in Canada on my home turf, that's like just doubles the amazingness of being able to play this tournament. And winning this tournament would just mean the world to me. I've come so close so many times. I've never actually won a major tournament. I just want to experience that once, you know, be playing a major tournament and then have all the chips at the end. That would just be so amazing. I'm waiting for that. This could be it.
For Sorel Mizzi, he had a horse and now he's got a whip, essentially.
Right.
I have to say, I like Jungleman's chances, prospects in the rest of this heat, Phil. He seems to have really zoned himself in here.
And he has chips too, and he's right up there. He's like on the heels. He's effectively tied for second, even though he's really in third place.
Raised 25,000.
You have to give Antonio a lot of credit because he's so smart about this game. I mean, you know, I'm sure he had and he was so.
Well, he had the best hand, and he said, "Well, I have the best hand." You know, it's like it can't be that wrong.
Yeah.
Esfandiari loves this hand, but he's doing the pressure thing.
Seat 4 re-raise.
We have seen 0 light 4 bets in this Premier League so far. Now, we know that sooner or later they are going to come. Antonio, he's picked a good spot to do it because Koon's got an awkward stack size. He really can't 4-bet fold. And if he jams here, it's a huge jam.
Yeah, it's like, this is why you can fold deuces through sixes in the first 2 spots, because you're put in too many awkward spots.
Wow, that's a strong jam. Read. That's a strong jam.
It's kind of turning your hand. Wow, this is so sick.
It's turning your hand into a bluff, but
it's not. It's the best hand, but he's trying to get better hands or race hands to fold.
Is that a case of him perhaps underestimating Jason Koon? Or did Jason Koon really just take a huge risk there? That was a strong Premier League statement of his intentions.
I know that for sure.
Sorel recently, a couple months ago, there was one of the largest buy-in tournaments. It wasn't the one drop, but over in Macau, I think it was a 250,000 or was it more?
I think it was 250,000 Hong Kong, which is around 40 or 50,000 US or what?
No, it was
7-1.
Certainly more than that. The buy-in was certainly.
It was $1 million. I don't remember. It was big.
And I think Sorel was in. I think they were only.
C1
average stack was about 8 big blinds when they got to the final table.
Isn't that sick?
Yeah. Sorel had.
Mizzi is going for the. I'm getting that 30K out there. I want it. I want to take that 30K.
25,000 to call.
Jungle's not going anywhere.
Mizzi's doing the equivalent of ramming and jamming right now. This is.
Call.
And Daniel's just flatted here. In his mind, too many chips to shove. I mean, it's only 30 big blinds.
What was it, 25?
Is he trying to trap Colman here?
Oh my God! I mean,
this is the kind of hand that a lot of the new breed would shove with, right? Make a little squeeze play. Not Dan.
There will be a flop.
Seat 7 call. 3 players.
And Colman's got the best hand, but it's not exactly a powerhouse. How does he want to play this? He's only got about 200K back. I think he's probably going to have to just try and get it in the check jam here, right? That's his plan. He can't he can't pass.
228. Yeah,
he's going to just get it in, right?
I think he has to. And he's only losing to
C1 bet
a handful of hands. He's really. The problem is when you raise and you get called, you're always losing. Oh, look at this. This is just a value call. I don't think he's raising here. Is this a raise? No, it's a value call.
Does this make it tricky for Dan?
Really tricky. In fact, Dan can feasibly fold because he's feeling, wow, what if a club peels off? Oh, there it is.
Seat 7 raise all in.
Because he figures
He has the conviction
might
of
just
the
have
math.
a draw,
Yeah.
and now this is a posturing, of course.
168.
And right now, Coleman's heart must be going pitter-patter, but he's going to get this through.
Oh, 100%.
It's a hard move to make if you're Dan, because if you get called, usually you're
dead.
And, you know, it's interesting because of the way it worked out, it looks like Daniel just slaughtered his chips there. You know, obviously, if he 3-bets, he wins.
Yeah. If he committed. If he had committed. Now, the blind, he's at a kind of an awkward stack. I mean, that guy opens for 30, he's 10%. He's out of position. I think it was fine, what everyone did there. You know what I'm saying? Overall, that was very reasonable unfolding.
No one went broke.
I would have been pretty tilted if you guys didn't say, hey.
It must be good.
But look at that. The one thing I've learned about the jungle is with his real hands, he just flats or whatever. When he has the air and the whatever, he re-raises. And when he has super good hands, he doesn't even bet. It's like anti-poker. So, oh, wow. Well, Koon has hit pay dirt on this one because Jungle's not going anywhere with 2 jacks.
He's holding on with both hands. And there's really no escape from this. These things happen.
Yep, it's poker.
Seat 8 raise 52,000.
This will certainly be good news for the other participants not involved in the hand here.
Right, especially
chip movement's always quite good.
You know, Mizzi's the least stacked fella at the table. When he sees what's happening here, he's going to love this.
Can Daniel Cates ever find a peel here? Or
let's see, that's a good question. I don't know. Let's see.
Could you find a peel here? Not really. With what has he got?
It cost him 27. He has 3. Yeah, but you're thinking as if an ace comes, I'll get away from it. But I don't know.
All in.
Yeah, I think this is a better play than peeling.
Seat 5
I think
re-raise.
it's just too big a hand.
All in call.
Good news for Koon.
You're needing a jack. It comes.
I'm so good at poker.
He comes out with this club. He swings the ropes and the vines, and he comes and he hangs on the wall. He finds a jack.
You know, he
punishes the hunters.
He has always been golden in the Premier League. Look at that smile.
God, he has 704,000. He's now a chip leader. He has to just dodge 2 outs. He has to dodge 2 outs. He's 94% to have 704,000. The jungle came swinging from the vines on this one, boys. Wow, the jungle.
You do wonder how much equity shifted play right there.
You count there, buddy?
I haven't done that in a while, let me tell you.
Wow, and now Koon on 77K with the super short stack.
We're all rooting for you, kid.
Yeah, right.
We were. What are you talking about?
Why are you rooting for me?
One guy out. Yeah, I guess it's a pay jump.
Koon takes his pain pretty good. I've seen him take some serious, deadly blows.
Down now 77,000 and a big favorite, obviously, to be next out, taking only 3 points from this first heat, while the Jungleman is now looking like he's got a bit of a lock on one of the top 2 or 3 spots. Plenty more from the Party Poker Premier League Season 7 after the break.
This doesn't happen online.
Didn't see that coming. It's like unreal.
I just don't have the heart.
I'm like so-so at all ins. You say I can't win flips?
Look at how good I am.
Yeah, baby.
The world doesn't understand it. All they see is all the bracelets. That's all they see.
This is the different year of Premier League for me.
Yes, baby! I am the greatest.
I want the limo. I'm ready to go. I don't want to hang out.
None of you here have any heart. Believe me, I've been watching you guys. It's embarrassing.
On your bikes! It's time to go! It's time to go!
Come on, Ireland.
Well done, Andy Black. Well done. It's good stuff to want something so badly and finally get it. Well done.
Thanks, everybody. I always wanted to do this.
Yes! The noise level rising here at the Playground Poker Club. Look at that heaving mob here.
73,000.
Later stages of the night. Still early in tournament time.
Yep.
Doing a roaring trade.
I think they added some money to that tournament in the back. They might have added Surprised me. I don't
Well,
know the
it's
details.
a $100,000 guarantee and only a $100 buy-in. So that's
And then there's like some evidence that, that sort of suggests otherwise.
it's attractive. It's got 3 starting days though.
Right.
I raise.
Yeah, you just gotta put your cards in. He's all in for 73,000.
Koon, he didn't see that.
I'm all in for 70.
I announced it.
He didn't see that.
At full.
You announced it.
Okay, we've got a problem. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
He's so out of it.
I think Jason Koon has shoved all in under the gun, and Daniel has announced verbally, "I raise."
Yeah, I believe he's going to have to raise.
He said 73,000. I announced 73,000. Came around to him on the small blind. He
All
said
right, whatever.
raise.
I can still win anyway.
Non-knowing.
Yeah, you definitely
all in.
yeah.
And
Game official as well as, you know, verbal. So
Does Dan still? You still have a hand?
And Dan still has a hand. What is Dan? Dan Colman has junk in the big blind, for what it's worth.
I was going to move all in anyway. Man. My hand's not that bad. At least. Are we? Look at how good I am.
It's true. It's true. No, he's
Kidding me? Six bigs. I've got 7s.
Wow, look at that. All sorts of things can happen. We have a flush draw for jungle.
Straight flush draw?
And a straight draw.
9 of spades and it's all over.
Come on, don't say that. You've been cruel enough to me as is. Like, let me win a little 150K pot.
It's 170,
I'm
Jason.
feeling greedy.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Unless Koon can find a pair the board,
It's not the 9
he has
of
to get
spades,
something.
but-
Except the 9 of spades correctly, that wouldn't do it. Look at that, full house,
Amazing.
double up.
Amazing.
He noticed that the 9 of spades was no good for a full house.
Interesting. Wow. Jason Koon does double up.
Jungle. How do you win so much? Huh?
This doesn't happen online.
Have a look here, Phil, at Jungle's chip movement.
Yep, and there's that spike. That's remember when he hit the jack from nowhere to beat Koon's queens.
He had been steadily building up to the point where
survival and build. Yeah, he was maintaining everything.
His 3-bet percentage of 12%, probably the highest at the table.
Yep. Yeah, and he liked to pick on people. When he had the button, if somebody raised, he would just do it.
I got stats for you all day. Yeah, dude. Especially the shower with the stacks.
I think Jeff Gross is one of those guys who, you know, when you watch him play, you think he's playing a little bit too tight, but then when you see the results, you think, you know, he's got a good game plan overall for this Premier League.
Here comes Esfandiari with effectively a real hand on the button. I mean, I like this play. Queen 6 folds.
You always
Colman, let's see if Colman pulls a jungle and calls or a fill and folds.
Right.
Because I'm not defending this one, by the way. If it was suited, I would defend,
Right.
and I know that's only a few more percentage points, but I don't know. For spiritual flow, it adds a lot.
Do you know, this also shows an uncertainty in Coleman's game.
He's doing it. He's saying, you know what?
No.
I know that you have to raise super wide. I'm just going to take advantage. This is the 2-4, the 3, whatever.
65,000 total.
Remember how Jungle was earlier saying, you guys and your
All you
tournaments,
have-
all
all
you
you
have
have
is
is
your
the
3-bet. That's all you have. This is it, the 3-bet.
And you know
and
what?
Antonio historically has never defended these. He just, I mean, he doesn't have a good hand
Antonio's got the kryptonite for this.
He's not doing anything here. So I don't think he's defending or anything. No. He has, historically in this whole match, he wants
to.
He wants to. He can feel.
Said I'm on.
He did!
Wow.
Yeah, that's the magician. He knows what these guys are about, Phil.
He does.
I didn't hear that.
He's the winningest tournament poker player of all time. He knew Colman before he sat down. He was waiting for that 3-bet.
Okay, that was really good poker. I gotta say, I don't think I would have done that play. That was good.
My name is Antonio Esfandiari. I'm a professional poker player. I like to bet on everything, and I'm what you call a full-blown degenerate. Obviously, I think my proudest achievement is probably the 1-drop. I feel as if it was my destiny at that time. It made the cover of newspapers in Israel, so everybody heard about it. It was great. Last time I played the Premier League, I took 3rd, so unfortunate, not the best result I wanted, but given that I started off so bad, it wasn't too shabby. This year to come back and win it would be huge. I love being in Montreal and I love the Playground Card Club. So how can you say no? I'd love to have a Premier League title under my belt, you know? They only give away one a year, so that'd be great.
Blinds are going to be going up again. Jungleman and Antonio Esfandiari leading the way. Jungleman, of course, with a bit of a draw out on Jason Koon. Antonio has been really showing his wares tonight.
Yep. How many chips do I have on the all-in?
240.
Yeah, the next two knockouts will probably be a little bit ugly, won't they?
Yeah.
If it's any other way,
And really, you know, when is the next time we'll see a turn card?
99% sure that's what I did.
Sorry about that. My bad. 16 to go.
Antonio was saying I put the right amount in, and the dealer had it wrong.
32,000.
Antonio was ready to go to war again. 99.9. Might be a little high of a guesstimate, but
giving Sorel the hard look.
Posturing, and this is any two cards, Jungleman.
Look at that
there it
smile.
Is. He loves it. Yeah, I got the king rag. I'm in.
We cash game like players like to see flops.
Didn't see that coming. Yeah, right.
Tell you one thing about, if there is one effect that the Jungleman's sort of big defense has, is that it's certainly taking some of these guys out of their comfort zone. And he knows,
Yep.
I mean, that is, I'm sure, an intended benefit, right?
Yep, for sure.
You know, Colman doesn't
this hand
seem...
is interesting. He has the, oh, wow. He had that vulnerable, I'm winning, but I'm not sure I'm winning.
And if Jungleman bets here,
It's more
Sorel
likely
must
he would, yeah.
call, right?
Well, I don't think you can raise here.
38,000.
It's just too...
Right. But I mean...
Your hand's too strong.
From what we know about the Jungleman, when he bets the turn in these spots, he almost never gives up on the river. He has gone for the raise.
This looks like total and complete.
But you have to fold.
I just don't have the heart. I just don't have the heart. This looks like such nonsense. I want to shove so badly. He might have it.
It is.
The shoving is just so
Greatest of
animal.
all time.
I'm not a big fan of tournaments.
They're cool, but yeah, you gotta.
What
Get
kind
ready
of
to
odds
get your
would
heart
you
broke a
would you give me that Jeff Gross is the next player out? Could he end up sixth?
He could. And then finally get there though.
Yeah, I will. Eventually, I'll just keep clicking reg till they let me win a couple.
Has Jeff Gross, has he slumped slightly? Is he sitting a little lower in his seat? Something about his aura.
I was certain I was winning alpha 8.
Is he?
Like, I was 100%
So,
certain.
32,000.
sits up again.
Fold.
See how much?
Fold. 32.
32. How much do you have?
So at the start of the hand, Mizzi's stack was 21 big blinds.
Well, guess what I'm gonna do?
Yep.
Oh, mix it up a little bit, go in once in a while, would you?
I think I like call.
You can almost fold fours against a guy like Jungle who's going to defend with anything.
That's
because
a funny point.
It's like, so what? You're never getting your value out of the damn fours, you know?
That's a very funny point. I mean, as much as everybody, you know, is laughing or making fun of Jungleman for the way he's playing, it does seem like they're struggling to come up with an antidote.
Right. Like, look at this, because now the C-bet gets captured by the Jungle.
I mean, he is.
He smiles even. He's like happy. He's like, yes. And he has a lot of chips, so he can afford, if he should be wrong, he can afford it. Oh, that like just makes Jungle feel like I can't lose now.
You know, also because Mizzi knows that Jungleman is calling with any two, certainly a deuce is in his range here. So, you know, Mizzi can still legitimately think he's got the best hand sometimes.
Yep. And now, the traditional play is to bet here.
Too big a chance that he could actually get paid off if Mizzi has a king or something.
I think you're supposed
like
to bet here because, a king's going to look like a dry, thin, correct call, and a pair of tens can easily call. And
92,000. Fold.
Look at that. He found a good fold.
Certainly did.
In the jungle.
Now you see why I call.
Jungle. Jungle is the chip leader with 697.
Quick call sometimes.
Antonio
Definitely can't win if you
clipping
lose.
his heels with 625.
You know, for the Jungleman, one of the things you have to love about him is it's not enough that he wins. He has to win his way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
He wants to do it.
I'm still impressed by how Koon came back from that crippling blow he took with the set of jacks for the jungle. He just crawled back from nothing, and he's been playing great since. So let's see, who's under the gun here?
Yeah, he's one of those.
That's Koon, and Koon
Raised to 32,000.
Oh, Koon goes for a min bet.
I think he'd be the most well-equipped at the table to go without food or water for 7 days and still be quite mentally tough, you know. I don't think you'd break him under duress.
Fold.
How much do you have exactly?
260.
This is interesting.
It's probably quite marginal because it's 260 is only about 15, 16 big blinds. I mean, Jungleman certainly could have.
Yeah, it's 16 and a half big blinds, the ace 10 of clubs.
Just gotten it in there. I mean,
it's 263,000. He definitely could have. And now this is closing action, a straight, legit, simple, traditional. Everyone
right, and this is kind of where he got into, well, not trouble, but it's a little different. But similar to that ace-queen hand, he's now let Colman in again.
Right.
You know, that would have been the benefit of just...
Yep, getting your value from the eights. Well...
And because the Jungleman's played the hand like this, does he have to is check folding just the sort of the...
It's interesting. A lot of players just call when the C-bet comes. They just call. But Jungle's good, and I think Jungle can find... He's like, you know what, maybe I was just no set, no bet. The standard line is I'll call and then see what happens on the turn.
Fold.
He does have 2 outs, of course, to catch up, spike, pass, whatever.
Don't you think Koon is Koon likely to check the turn here or barrel it?
Check or bet, check.
By the way, that king, counterintuitively enough, is a better card for the ace-10 to see than, let's say, a 9. And the reason why is if your opponent has the ace-king, he's already beating you. The king is a good card. You want overcards to your 10 to come. If a 9 peels off, a hand that you were beating, ace-9, would now have caught up. So on that king and 9, he's more afraid of a 9 than a king, if that makes sense to the viewer at home. I just don't see Jungle doing anything here. I just see
he's considering turning his hand into a bluff.
He does have that aura, for sure. He has the aura of that.
And if he decides to turn his hand into a bluff, what is he trying to get to fold?
He's trying to get ace-10 to fold. He's trying to get ace-jack to fold.
Really?
He's thinking ace-queen can fold. I mean, these are hands like, well, he could have had ace-9. He could have had, the way Jungle plays, he could have... Wow, snap call.
Wow!
Instant call.
And Jason Koon, talk about sweet revenge.
He's got his customer dialed in.
Supposed to have that in there.
It was like, call.
You're not supposed to have that hand there, says the Jungleman to Jason Koon.
Koon is up to 500 almost, 479 from 73 or something. Getting revenge on his nemesis with the jacks. Wow.
Jason Koon enjoying his first Premier League. We caught up with him before taking his seat.
Well, I had no money in college, like zilch. But I was always good at analytical things. So I started with like $5 buy-in games with my buddies, and within a month, none of them wanted to play really anymore. And then I won an $11 buy-in tournament online that had 25,000 people in it for 20K. I was like, cool, I have $20,000, I don't know what to do with it, so I'll spend 18 of it on a car and then be broke again. I guess this year's been a good year. I think I have 1.4 million in cashes this year, and I don't have a cash over 316,000, so just overall, I still haven't had like a massive live win. I've been in the position maybe 10 times. It's just a matter of time. I certainly will win a bunch of titles before I'm done. I final tabled Alpha 8, which was a $100,000 buy-in tournament. It was really neat to get four-handed, and then first was 1.1 million US, and I lost ace-king to 9s to bust, similar. Ran and jumped in the ocean, and it was a pretty good day. If I keep printing and putting up results, I think I belong here, and until somebody can prove that differently, you know, let's keep it coming.
Season 7 of the Party Poker Premier League is here at the Playground Poker Club in Montreal. Heat 1 is underway as the players embark on their shot at taking down the title. Points are what they need in this league format, so let's get back to the table to see how the remaining players are doing.
It is nearly uncharted territory here. Premier League Poker 7, heat number 1. We are six-handed, Phil Laak, going into 10 and 20,000 blinds.
It's crazy to be six-handed this deep. We don't see it.
Average chip stack 20 big blinds deep. I think it's fair to say that this is not going to be typical of the heats because the dynamics later on in the tournament will dictate a lot more aggressive play and extreme play. But right now, a lot of hanging on. Is it press and play right now? Is it just hit and hope? Where there's going to be a lot of shoving going on.
Now Antonio loves this and he's going with it to any resistance, I feel.
Sorel.
Does anyone have a hand?
I have a brother that looks a lot like
I think he's calling them.
All in call.
Yeah. This is just, it's pure hand power is just too strong.
Daniel Colman is at risk.
I'm like so at all ins. I'm pretty good at them. It's really quite fun.
Big flip for the Premier League.
Huge flip. 616 hanging out there. Wow. The nutter butters. The only way Antonio can win is with the runner of hearts.
Smashed it.
Full house. He could get 8-8 or ace-8.
It's not happening. Oh,
now he can.
Ace
300?
Wow. He needs an ace or an 8.
He's got 4 live outs.
Yep.
He went from 0 to 4 live outs.
Wow. Could he do it?
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
The deuce.
He would have rather the 2 of hearts in the turn, of course, because that would open up a flush for him. That's a crippling blow for Antonio because, you know, Colman had some chips there. He did. And now Esfandiari is down to 133. It's brutal.
Amazing.
Oh, wow. Colman, the wizard with sit and goes with the chip lead and position on the second stack, which is Jungle. Jungle has the second stack.
I'm not Jungleman sneaky. Like
the blinds are so high, guys. Wow. There's 48,000, just to put in perspective. So that means Antonio can only look at like 4.5 orbits before he's broke. So you're going to see action. You're going to see activity.
Nowhere to breathe, nowhere to hide, no room here. Playground Poker Club outside of Montreal, the premier poker club.
C5 raise, 40,000.
In all of Canada and perhaps greater North America.
Seat 7 raise, all in.
Wow. Wow, big decision for Koon here. And how should he think about this? Now, Jungleman's raised. Colman has re-raised all in.
Well, Koon loves this hand. I think with the stack sizes and the blinds and what they're at, he has to see 10s as ace, king, or kings. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a tight fold's warranted here. The absolute hand value is just so monster.
Think about it in terms of where he is right now. I think he's 4th in chips. There's 2 stacks below him right now. So he certainly, is there a ladder up mentality here? If he thinks there's a big percentage of the time,
I love how you pull out the devil's advocate stuff. But
what if he's in a
10s is too
flip?
strong. It's an absolute.
He's correct.
I think it's.
Have ourselves a pot.
There is a new chip leader, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, there is going to be a new chip leader. He's going to have over 1 million in chips.
Easy pass for Sorel Mizzi. Easy pass.
Yeah, this is trivial. I mean, he would be set pedaling, and he can't even get. Yeah.
And I think an easy pass for Jungleman as well. And Colman now in a bit of trouble. Did Colman? Is he out on a limb here with the 5?
I think maybe you can just flat, or it's that whole.
You know, Colman, I mean, obviously
Colman's
he knows
a genius,
what he's doing.
Yeah. Right. Boom, oh my God. I've never seen a guy take so many under pairs. It's the second time, yeah.
And hold it, you said, what does it take for this guy to crack? He just cracked.
Queen students can't run worse. Can't play better.
You said I can't win flips? Like the 82-18 variety?
Koon is left with chips at the end of this hand, I think, right? No? Or no, he's out.
He's out.
I'll take a 6.
He doesn't hit a 6 or a 10.
Wow, he's
out.
floored.
This is insane.
He's really shook.
He can't believe it. It's very hard to lose 2 over pairs in a row.
Well, what is 18% squared?
Quads.
Wow. What is 18% squared? That's what he's just gotten hit by.
Wow.
Good luck.
Boy. And Jason Koon. Wow.
How do I get out of this place? If you need a hug, kid, we're here for you.
Got 3 more to win.
Colman, that was true hyper turbo style. He lumped it in with 5s and got there with quads. That's how you win $1 million.
It's 3 points for Jason as he heads into his next heat, but it seemed like you had almost cosmic bad luck here. Talk to me about how you kind of shake that off for the next one.
Yeah, I mean, it just happened 70 seconds ago, so I don't know if I've quite got over it yet. But, I mean, I made standard decisions both times. Got it in with him having 1 out for the chip lead, lost, came back. Got him in with it having 2 outs, lost. I don't know, really happy with my play. I ran some good bluffs. I picked off some bluffs. I did all I can do, so good thing we have some more shots at it. It's a cool structure. I knew, you know, if things like this happen, at least I have a chance to make a comeback and still win the thing, so that's all I can do.
I feel like all these 5 guys will still feel like they're well in this Premier League.
Yep.
Boy, Jason Koon, you know, he's gonna have to pump some serious iron to shake this off.
Wow, that is a serious beat. And then it was almost like the poker gods decided to really just show him. By giving him, give the fella quads like he needs it, you know? Just to say whatever they're trying to say. And trust me, guys, the poker gods are not connected. They're not paying attention. They have better things to do. They're probably surfing in Maui or something, you know? What do they have?
They dance on graves. The poker gods dance on graves.
It's like basically in the middle of space. There's actually.
I mean, I don't think Gross found the right time to make
it would have costed like more than all the money.
I think this is King 10's.
Wow, so this is small blind on big?
Yeah, I think that
he's getting called?
I think he might have to get called. I mean,
Do I know what I'm sweating, or is that not allowed?
You have a pretty decent hand. Pretty decent hand.
And this is one place where Antonio kind of excels, isn't it? I mean, he'll take his time to try and.
But he might be he might be sensitive to the point. If he folds, it's not. He's just trying to get points. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
But he is the short stack right now, and he'll be taking on the second shortest stack. So, isn't that the spot you want to take on?
I think I have to call you. So sick.
It's true.
55 plus 60 is 115.
He makes really good decisions in these sort of spots, Antonio.
King high?
Yep. Jeff read it right. But look at this. You know, Queen 4 is not dead.
King 10 exactly.
Not slow roll friends.
So I'm an old seasoned veteran pro, Miz. I'm thinking about folding, you know?
That's a taxi cab in Houston. People, if they see you folding there, you won't get invited to Houston.
That's the taxi cab
in
Houston. That's good. Oh. Big flop for Jeff Gross. He might get out of this yet.
Wow.
He might get out of this
Antonio
yet.
only having 20-odd%.
Will the door still be open? Are we going to have a connecting door?
Nice hand.
10 would be interesting.
Good luck, boys and girls.
Oh, he's trying to get an extra 2%. He knows he's 13, but he's feeling he's 15 if he puts his satchel on. It's to get 2% by saying the goodbyes. That's what this is. It's a move pioneered back in 1963 by
Mizzi, I love you.
Get Up Charlie is what they called him. He squoze out 2%, and he didn't collect the 2%. He didn't collect the 2%.
Get Up Charlie invented that move.
In
1963.
Yep. I mean, his name was Charlie. They started calling him Get Up Charlie when, you know.
Yep. Big smile from Jeff Gross. He was up, then he was all the way down, and now he's back.
It's 5 points for Antonio, and you seem to really be in the zone through much of this heat. I want to ask you about the short stack play. You had some really big decisions about, you know, whether or not to call some short stack shoves. Was it different, your decision making, because of the point structure?
Yeah, I mean, you really don't want to bust out of there with little points, and so I think it's much more important to try and maximize your chances of getting like even second or third versus winning, just because you have to get the points. And there were some really close spots where I thought if I called and won, I would have a really good stack. But if I called and lost, then I gave up my chip stack. And so that's not something I wanted to do. So whatever, it was unfortunate. I lost a bunch of hands that I was all in, and that's just how it goes.
Esfandiari, who looked to have control early on in the heat, bows out in 5th place with 5 points. Internet wizard Dan Colman now in charge with a huge chip lead from Jungleman, Jeff Gross, and Sorel Mizzi as we head toward the business end of Heat 1.
There is still plenty of action in this one as the competition for the remaining points intensifies. Join us next time for the conclusion of Heat 1 here at Party Poker's Premier League Season 7.
Anyone have any of our cards?
Insane.
I feel like you're a good guy no matter what.
Jeff, you lied to me.
That's like a ridiculous score.
Gotta keep you guessing over there a little.
There she is.